Good evening. I would like to call this meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is a special meeting of the Board of Education for Kalamazoo Public Schools with the purpose of reviewing the budget. Ms. Kaiser?
Thank you, President Harrison. Yes, we are legally required to hold a hearing on the proposed 24-25 budget, including property tax millages, before adoption. A financial overview with proposed budget changes was presented at the June 13th board meeting. The 2024 operating and debt millage rates of 17.6757 mils and 8.2 mils respectively are consistent with the prior year. And this is the opportunity for people to provide input to the board about the budget prior to tonight's 7 p.m. board meeting, in which the budget will be formally recommended for adoption. Thank you.
At this time, we'll call people requesting to address the board. Seeing none. Yep. I need a motion to adjourn the budget portion of the meeting.
I move that we adjourn the budget portion of the meeting.
I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion from Trustee Johnson, seconded by Trustee Scholler-Barber, that we adjourn the budget part of the meeting. I'll do a roll call vote. Trustee Johnson? Yes. No.
Just
Accepting,
closing
closing this part of the meeting. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Scholler-Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill?
Yes.
And I say yes. This meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene at 7 p.m.
The kids were here, but then she used to be correcting your job, just like you take your kids closer, so you can whatever kind of thing. But she's amazingly aware. Oh, she's here. Next time you might go, I'll tell you. And do we know who are the people in the back room? Oh, I know it is. It's Ian, I think. Yeah, it's Ian. Wants it, and it's going to be, has watched it, knows the issues. this is her heart. Yeah. To report to each one. So, the kind of excuse she's so interested in it. It should be of the district. The district should know. So she's going to do a schedule of board meetings and present in a circle. Yeah. Plus, she really wants it to be in unison or have somebody to see to it. There's no Ivy Towers anymore. So. Hookster's a real common Dutch name. I don't know. I don't know this woman at all. But Hooksters, there's a million Hooksters. Like there used to be the Hookster hardware store. So one of his daughters is. You're talking about the guy with the erase? Is that the Art Hookster you're talking about?
That passed away?
Yeah, from toenail cancer. And one of his daughters is a phenomenal OBGYN oncologist. And then wasn't one of them married to Jim Tarantine? Yeah, that's Greta. And then
I was right.
is it Greta?
No, it's her.
Let me see.
She has a new last name.
He had 3 daughters? Okay. They're all smart ladies, so it could be. Right? The one, look up the Dr. Hookster, the doctor. She was Joel's doctor. She's very good. She's very good. Anna.
And so Alice was the other one.
Yeah, see, this is Anna.
Yeah, Alice. Anna was one.
And then Alice, and then Greta, yeah. Very accomplished young girls. But of course, with a dad like us. Jill had ovarian cancer. And so, yeah. So her specialty is, you could take female cancers and maybe that would make, but it's, gynecological oncologist. You know what's cool about this one is that she's coming with a lot of professional experience, And so you don't have to worry about that accent. It's just introducing her into the community and yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Oh, you will really. She's very cool. Very down to earth. When you ask her a question, you're gonna get this with the answer. And she's so
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I would like to call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I need a motion to accept the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
I have a motion from trustee Shola Barber to amend the agenda. I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion from trustee Shola Barber with a second from trustee Hill to amend the agenda. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the motion I'd like to make is to elect the new vice president of the Kalamazoo Public Schools Board of Education this evening.
Trustee Shola Barber makes a motion to elect the new vice president of the Kalamazoo Board of Education. I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion from trustee Shola Barber, seconded by trustee Hill. Is there any I need a roll call vote. Trustee Johnson? Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, what's your motion?
No, I just made it, and now I'd like to make an motion to accept the agenda as amended.
And so now there's another motion to accept the agenda as amended. I need a second.
I have a second with a question. Are we going to put this under other business? Would that be the appropriate place to put it? Just to clarify for me.
I think that would be a good place to put it.
Okay. And then I will second that we have amended the agenda and we will hold an election under other business for the vice president of the school board.
Trustee Shola Barber amended the agenda. Trustee Hill amended the agenda with the desire to move it to other business. Trustee Johnson? Yes. Trustee Murphy? Yes. Trustee Shola Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill? Yes. And I say yes. Trustee Hill, will you please take attendance?
All trustees are present and Dr. Slade is also present.
Ms. Coney, it doesn't look like we have any company.
We do not have any recognitions this evening.
Yes, ma'am. There's no committee and school reports. Secretary Hill, is there any correspondence?
There is no correspondence. So just to be clear, we did receive an email, but I want the person to know that it will appear on the next meeting because it came within 24 hours of this meeting. So just in case they're watching the meeting, I have already answered them and it will appear on the next one because that's the protocol we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I need a motion to accept the consent calendar items.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
I have a motion from trustee Shola Barber, seconded by trustee McGlynn. Trustee Johnson? Yes. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill?
Yes.
And I say yes. Mrs. Kaiser, would you please give us purchase recommendation 2024-59, 2024-60, 61, and 62?
Yes, thank you, President Harrison. Yes, we have 4 purchase recommendations this evening. Request number 2024-59 in the amount of $50,636. And this is for boiler tube replacement at 3 buildings and will be funded from the Facilities Management General Fund. Next, we have purchase recommendation 2024-60 in the amount of $37,155. And this is for the Washington Writers Academy chiller equipment replacement. This will also be funded from the Facilities Management General Fund. Next is purchase request number 2024-61 in the amount of $261,255. And this is for district-wide temporary door barricades. And this is funded from the MDE Section 97 Safety Grant. Lastly, we have purchase recommendation 2024-62 in the amount of $307,195.72. And this is to purchase diverse classroom library books for elementary and middle schools this summer. And this is funded from ESSER 3. Thank you.
Discussion from the board. Trustee Hill.
I just want to say, I just want to shout out to Ms. Jackson and her team and thank them for the count of how many doors need. I know that's kind of funny. We have 1,856 doors in the district, and we have all these wonderful children and teachers and people who work in the building with our students that need protecting, and unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. So am I correct with these are the doors that if there was a reason to have to block a door, then that would be what this thing is for, right? Okay, we have these in the hospital and colleges too, so, okay, thank you. That's it.
Trustee Johnson.
There's a small question about the books for the classroom library. Are there lists associated with the books that will be added?
I think Dr. Dyson can answer that question.
Good evening, Board. The books are, they're getting approximately 5 to 10 books per teacher. They're reflective of ethnicity, gender, and abilities. And our two primary purposes is, so one, students can see themselves represented in literature, and the second is so every teacher will be able to have classroom books. So, for example, new teachers won't have to come out of pocket or feel they have to.
Okay. And so when those books are purchased, those books will be in a list somewhere distributed to the parents so they know what books were added?
Sure, yeah. So elementary, it's between 50 and 75 titles.
Okay.
Middle school, it's a classroom set of 3 to 5 titles, and some books are ordered through Vox, so it reads the text to students.
Okay. Sweet, thank you.
Trustee Shola Barber.
I just want to add again, shout out to the door counter. That's another skill we can add to that list. What I noticed in these purchase recommendations is, again, the complexity and the diversity of KPS. You've got boilers, you've got chillers, you've got diverse classroom libraries, and you've got door barricades. Not only the purchase orders show the complexity, but the sources. You've got ESSER, you've got a grant, you've got the facilities management general fund. So, and since this is budget night, I think it's important to understand the complexity of making it safe for our children, to give them good literature, to make sure that they're in buildings that are comfortable. It's a very complex organization, and it takes a lot of parts. So I want to just shout out thank you to everybody for making sure that these things are done, as well as whoever wrote the grant. That grant has gone a long way and has done some marvelous. The MDE Section 97 Safety Grant has been beneficial. So thank you.
Trustee McGlynn.
I'd be remiss not to say something about the books. One thing that I'm just really impressed is that we've had some initiatives in the past on diverse libraries, and it's so great to see that we're not just doing this one time and dropping it. We're continuing to build libraries, and that these are going into individual classrooms is especially important. So just very happy to see that kind of attention to our libraries and our individual school libraries.
And Trustee Murphy, I will bring up the rear and thank Dr. Justice for the diligence that she puts in making sure that the libraries are diverse. I'm really excited to continue to support the program, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the titles of the books are. At this time, we will have the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're going to talk about a very important topic, especially going into next school year. I do want to commend the senior leadership team for this area, and I'm talking about vaccinations, especially Ms. Saunders and Ms. Dewey, who did an excellent job working with our principals and some of our other community resources to ensure that all of our students are vaccinated. So at this time, Ms. Dewey, who is our Director of Student Services, will come up and talk about vaccinations and what we need to do to make sure all of our students are compliant going into next school year.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Board. Wanted to talk with you this evening about some updates that are happening in student services, some of our work that we've done over the last couple of months. This spring, KPS learned that we had experienced some great challenges when vaccination rates were lower than our state requirements. 95% of students polled in grades kindergarten, 7th, and new enrollments must have the mandatory immunizations as determined by the state of Michigan. In the 2023-24 school year, a large number of newcomer families enrolled in the school district, and many did not have their needed immunizations. Language barriers, housing insecurity, and at times limited healthcare options complicated the vaccination process for several hundred students, and this created a shortfall in the district percentages. So in the spring of this year, KPS partnered with the health department and with Helping Hands Wellness Center to tackle this vaccination challenge. The school district team of district nurses, our team at Student Services, worked with the multilingual learner department to communicate with families. KPS hosted 5 vaccination clinics at Millwood Magnet School, Maple Street, Hillside, Lincoln Elementary, and we hosted a 5th community event at the Oakwood site. There was a strong collaboration between the school district and our local partners, and this resulted in great success. In May, the school district reached the 95% threshold for state compliance with vaccinations, and we have plans to continue these efforts in the 2024-25 school year to continue this partnership with our community partners. We've got some other work that we are challenged with this summer and that we are excited about. In the winter and spring, a parent engagement steering committee was created. This is a collaboration with many of our community partners, including ISK, CIS, Griffin Place, Helping Hands Wellness Center, and the Southwest Michigan Food Bank. Our goal is to collaborate with these partners to contribute to a series of events that will promote a positive awareness for mental and physical health services for families. So many events have been planned and facilitated through the spring and summer. One such event is our Summer Literacy Kickoff. Now, if you recall, a week ago, we were at 105 heat advisory. So unfortunately, our event that was originally planned for June 18th has now been rescheduled for July 16th. But the flyer is posted around our building in multiple schools and is present here tonight. This is Adventure Awaits Summer Literacy Kickoff is an evening of games and activities for elementary-age children. It's all tied to our summer reading initiative. Book giveaways, food, games, and raffle prizes will be available, and the event is hosted at Lincoln International Study School, July 16th from 4 to 7 p.m. So come on out for some reading fun. And finally, we are actively working on enrollment as we prepare for the 2024-25 school year. Enrollment applications are found online for new students, and school placement is occurring at this time. Our department reviews grade level and school enrollment numbers each week to balance our class sizes and consider the needs of families. Many families struggle with some of the state requirements for immunization, as we discussed at the beginning, as well as screenings that include vision, hearing, and an oral dental exam that is new this year. An early childhood enrollment event is planned at the end of this July, on July 30th. This is in partnership with the health department, which will provide multiple providers on site for families to enroll preschoolers and kindergartners. So we'll have providers to complete all of those screenings, as well as enrollment, completion, giveaways, books, back-to-school events. So for questions on enrollment, families should contact Student Services, and we'll be happy to help families walk through that process.
Questions from the board? Trustee Murphy.
Good evening. First of all, thank you. I know that getting vaccines can be very difficult, even when you have a job and insurance. So thank you for making it easy and accessible for all of our students to do that. The question that I had was, we know that Loynorks is getting a health center. Will vaccines be available through that health center to the students?
Yes, that is part of the plan as we look into the fall and begin the services for students. We have a series of vaccination clinics and common events that will happen in multiple locations, including the Loynorks Health Center.
Thank you.
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber.
Well, oh, no, mine's quick. I just want to thank you so much because in this short presentation, again, to my theme of the diversity and the complexity of whatever, you're taking care of so many issues or obstacles or hurdles that our families could be experiencing and that would impede health, that would impede other kinds of things. So I'm really appreciative of everything. And could you announce the date again and the time of the adventure?
Yes, July 16th, 4 to 7 p.m. at Lincoln International Study
Thank you
School.
for that. And again, those kinds of activities, again, the inclusion, the celebration, was a lovely presentation for the whole 360 of KPS. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Johnson.
Hello.
Hello.
I have questions. So the night, the financial literacy night, what community organizations are you partnering with for that day? And I asked, but
The financial literacy night?
no, July 16th from 4 to 7 at
Oh,
Lincoln.
yes, I'm sorry.
It's
My
okay.
mistake. The community organizations that we're partnering with, yes, Southwest Michigan Food Bank will be on site with, I think we have 75 family kits for meal giveaways. The YMCA is one of our partners, so they have a day program at Lincoln International Study School, and they will be working with helping to facilitate the children's activities that our English Language Arts department has created from the book. So they'll help with some of the kid activities, if you would. KDPS will be on site, and believe that we have a fire truck that will be on site that had to be rescheduled, but that is planned. The K-Wings will be another partner. Slappy should be in costume and on site as well. We have Griffin Place, ISK, CIS, and Helping Hands, our partners that are a part of our steering committee. They'll all host tables with giveaways and activities for families. We've got about 40 volunteers through all of those organizations that will help to host. We are anticipating, and hopefully we continue to get a large crowd. We had over 300 families that had RSVP'd for our first event, and unfortunately we just knew that the heat was an obstacle there that we couldn't control. And with it being entirely outdoors, there was a concern that there could be, heat issues. We do have a number of vendors that will be providing treats and giveaways and raffles. It's intended to be a night of fun and a way to connect with children and families within our community.
Okay. I'm interested. It sounds like a great family event. I'm a teenage-focused individual.
Yes.
And so I ask questions so
Sure.
that I can better feel the group of people who I work with,
Mhm.
questions and things of that nature. Also, you said something about back-to-school events.
Mhm.
Do you all have any schedule? We do, so I would love to invite you all out to do vaccines there
Okay.
because it's literally the last weekend before school starts, August 24th. But what other, are you interested in community partners reaching out to you? And if so, how would they do that?
Absolutely. So a couple of responses here for you. We will participate in the back to school backpack event that happens with communities and schools. I believe that we have traditionally attended as well events with the Family Health Center and with several other organizations. I know we have a list of 12 events. I don't have all of them memorized with the dates, times, and locations, but there are a number of additional events that we are looking to partner with. We're always open to considering other opportunities, so I'd be happy to provide you my contact information, and we can collaborate directly following tonight's meeting.
Wonderful. Okay, so I guess that's about it for me. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Dewey. As always, it's a pleasure to see you, and I'm really excited that you are serving as our Director of Student Services. I do have a question about the Parent Engagement Steering Committee.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So one of our components that we believe will assist in helping with the mental and physical health and well-being for children and their families, as covered through our 31AA grant, includes improving and increasing parent and family engagement. So there are components within that grant that look to how we can improve these areas. To try to gather additional information and to get additional feedback and input, we sought out a number of our community partners that had close ties to these similar themes that we already had many partnerships with. And we created a steering committee midway through this past winter. I believe the initial meeting was in February as we worked to try to design a committee and create some goals and some actionable items as we move forward. So we've met on a monthly basis. We've planned multiple events and partnered, some that the school district has hosted, like the Adventure Awaits event, and in other cases where we've created new partnerships. For example, we have a series that partners with the YMCA and with communities and schools for the Parent Guardian Respite Evenings, which are 4 times a year. And that creates an opportunity for families that are invited to the YMCA for a 3-month-long family membership to the Y and an evening of wellness where they receive information on mindfulness, parenting tips, nutrition. They have an opportunity for a physical and receive other information and resources with community organizations. So that's another example. We have, I think, 12 or 13 events that have been on the books or that we have either played a large part in planning or we have contributed to other organizations that are shouldering some of that work because we're really a team of partners. So the intention is for this steering committee to continue through the upcoming school year, and we will now be, as this team has been pretty well established, we will move to quarterly meetings. The next one is scheduled in August.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so again, thank you, Ms. Dewey, for that report. I also want to thank, before we end this part of our meeting tonight, our summer school staff, the principals, the teachers. Summer school started on Monday. I want to thank Dr. Dyson, Mr. McCain, and Dr. Justice, who are basically in charge of summer school. Our enrollment and attendance is up when compared to last year. So I do want to commend our students for coming every day, and that has to continue. I do want to say for the students where summer school is mandatory, it will be mandatory for the rest of the summer. So I do want to make that clear. Also, next week we're going to have our first meeting for the outreach opportunity that we're going to put in place. That is not a KPS program, but we're going to again go out into the community on some of the weekends this summer between like 8 o'clock and 1 o'clock at night. And our goal was to try to get in contact with those folks, those young people who do not attend board meetings, who do not attend some of the more traditional meetings that we have, for students who are not in school or students who are facing some type of issue, either at home in their neighborhood. And the main thing we want to do is have conversation with some of these young people and pass out contact information and resources so we could help get them on the right track. So again, if you signed up, you will be notified tomorrow. We're going to call everybody who signed up, and I want to thank everybody who did sign up and let you know where the meeting will be. It will be next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We have not confirmed the location, but we will let you know tomorrow. I cannot end this session of the meeting without recognizing a legendary employee in the state of Michigan, one of the best assistant superintendents of human resources I've ever seen. Before we leave, I want to stand up and give her a big round of applause. But this is Ms. Sheila Dorsey Smith's last board meeting. I want to thank her family, her daughter, her grandkids for traveling to make sure they were part of this meeting tonight again. She has done exceptional work for us. No way you can replace somebody like her, but again, we just want to personally thank you for all you have done. You have helped basically every administrator in this district. You even helped me have a pretty good school year. So again, I want to just thank you, and I didn't want to wait till the end to do this. So again, we just thank you so much. Truly appreciate you. And again, I want to shout your daughter out and your grandkids for traveling this far to make sure that you were celebrated. And that concludes the superintendent's report tonight.
Thank you so much. So that we can finish up this part of the agenda, I need a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the collection of the non-homestead mill and debt retirement mills and the winter levy. I have a motion from trustee Johnson. Second, I need a second.
Second.
I have a second from trustee Murphy. This will be a roll call vote. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill? Yes. And I say yes. At this time, Ms. Kaiser, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Harrison. Tonight we have the adoption of the 2024-25 preliminary budget and 2023-24 closed estimate budget. It is recommended that the board adopt the 2024-25 preliminary budget and 2023-24 closed estimate budget as presented in this report. Specifically, it is recommended that the board approve the revenue and beginning balance budget, Exhibit 2A, the expenditures and reserves budget, Exhibit 2B, the consolidated budget for state reporting purposes, including the 2024-25 appropriations resolution in Exhibit 4, and the 2023-24 closed estimate budget, including the 2023-24 appropriations resolution in Exhibit 5. The plan included in the previous PowerPoint presentation has been incorporated into the formal budget materials. This is a balanced budget with projected revenues slightly exceeding projected expenditures. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. I need a motion. Trustee Shola Barber?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from trustee Shola Barber, seconded by trustee McGlynn, that we approve the 2025 preliminary budget and the 2023 close estimate budget. Trustee Johnson? Yes. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber?
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn?
Yes.
Trustee Hill? Yes. And I say yes. The last on the agenda is the administrative appointment. Ms. Sheila Dorsey Smith.
Thank you, President Harrison. So this just warms my heart, is my last recommendation. And this is for CAMSI Director. I'd like to appoint Heather Cortland to that position. She attended Western Michigan University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Earth Science and Secondary Education and a minor in Mathematics. She earned 2 master's degrees at Western in Science Education and Educational Leadership. She has worked in Otsego Public Schools for 23 years. During her time in the district, she served as a math and science teacher for 9 years, assistant high school principal for 2 years, and for the past 12 years, she has worked as the director of instruction. During her time in Otsego Public Schools, she led the STEM initiative and brought Project Lead the Way to the district. She has presented across the state on various science and STEM topics. In addition, she has served as the president for the Michigan Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, or Michigan ASCD, for the past 7 years. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion from the board.
I move.
I have a motion from trustee Murphy. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second from trustee Hill. I'll switch it up a little bit. Trustee McGlynn.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson. And I say yes. Congratulations to Mrs. Heather Cortland, the new director of the Kalamazoo Area Math and Science Program. Are there people requesting to address the board? I don't have the folder. No? Seeing no people requesting to address the board, under other business, trustee Shola Barber had a motion.
I would like to make a motion to elect, or to nominate, Carol McGlynn as Vice President of the Kalamazoo Public Schools Board of Education.
I have a nomination for Carol McGlynn to take on the role of Vice President for the Board of Education. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Hill. Trustee Johnson. Oh. Yes, ma'am. Is there any discussion from the board? Seeing none? Do you have discussion?
I have a word, yeah. I think this would be a good pick because trustee McGlynn has served in that position in the past when she was on the board before she rejoined us this time.
Sounds good to me. Any other discussion? Trustee Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. Like, she's very committed and has been like full throttle since she came back. She doesn't miss a meeting. I'm all for it.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber.
Enthusiastically, I think she brings experience and dedication.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee McGlynn, would you like to vote for yourself?
Sure.
And I say yes. Congratulations, Vice President.
Thank you.
Comments by trustees? Trustee Shola Barber.
I don't have to go first.
No, you should.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm extremely enthused, and I'm going to shout out to the board. This was a very productive meeting, got a lot done, very efficient, great leadership, and thank you, Dr. Slade, for everything you've done in this past school year. As far as it was a great school year, we've made great strides, so I want to thank you for that. And to Miss Dorsey Smith, I can't tell you, in my whole tenure on the board, I think I've been here the whole 14 years, and I have yet to not leave a meeting with you or an interaction with you where it wasn't positive and it wasn't for the good of the order and thought of the 180. You were brilliant. And when there were issues, you used the same calm demeanor. You used the same mature and comprehensive attitude. And when it got to be a tense situation, which we've had some over your 14 years, the same demeanor is there. I think that is such a hallmark of your being. It's your heart, it's your passion, and it's your, I'm going to assume, dedication to public education. But this district's stronger for having you be such a vital part of us. So my admiration and my heart always to you, Ms. Dorsey Smith. And do we have time for a little sports?
Of course.
Okay, all right, the sports. So, okay, here we go. We got area all-conference teams for baseball. Colin Honey from Kalamazoo Central and Lucas Frankart made the first team, pitcher and designated hitter. Honorable mention, Aiden Luckett and Bretton Bolt from Kalamazoo Central. They were shortstop and pitcher. And then there will be more coming. Softball. For the first team, I got London Rabb, second base from Kalamazoo Central. I got Addison Lehman, Kalamazoo Central pitcher. Alana Brookman, Loy Norix, shortstop. Lizzie Bierlein, Loy Norix, third base. Honorable mention, Kendall Ivy, Ava Fellings, and Shayla Kilduff. There are for soccer, and we had some great soccer in KPS this season. Amazing soccer. Loy Norix was amazing. And the Loy Norix women who made the first team, and this is all coaches, all county pick. Anna Courtney, Ella Stengel, Cameron Miller, and Molly Locke. K Central had two, Natalie Velton and Olivia Leslie. Honorable mention, Loy Norix, Zelda Molitor and Madeline Chepa, and Alicia Leek from Loy Norix is honorable mention for soccer, women's soccer. Kalamazoo Central, Maggie Kajewski, Sydney Mack, and Ryan Gunderson. Those are all. And then there's more, but I want to make a comment here. A lot of these are all-star athletes as far as academics go too. And again, the theme of the meeting is the diversity, and this is a huge part of why many of our students come to or go to school. We've talked about that before. So let's see, the summer workout numbers have been outstanding as we look forward to fall. That's a message from Loy Norix. They've had a great season. As far as Kalamazoo Central, we do know that they had an outstanding track season. Amazing, first time in a long time. To go with that, Kalamazoo Central softball won their first district champion in 20 years. So I don't know. Dr. Slater, you have an influence here? We're getting some championships, yeah. I don't know. Your accountability is even sinking down to the athletic department. We love it. And we know that the men's Division I state championship went to our Central men's team. This is outstanding, many of the track athletes competed at the New Balance Nationals track meet in Philadelphia. Our medley relay team combination finished 4th in the nation. Sam Baker, a freshman, set a new personal record and finished for the mile and finished 6th among the freshmen in the nation. So we got to start going here. Yeah. And again, I think as much as a musical or as mock trial or whatever, we need to celebrate all the corners and all the aspects of KPS. I want to do a shout out to Dr. Slade for the outreach effort, which is not a KPS effort, but shows a little bit of dedication after work hours and along with. And that just resonates well with students, that it's not just I'm seeing you here in the school hallways, seeing you other places. I want to shout out also to Communities and Schools for an outstanding mailing that we got, and much like the Excelsior, that was done so well, Ms. Coney, that it highlights all sorts of seniors and where seniors are going and what seniors are doing. So what a brilliant partnership we have with CIS, which on the 22nd of June, they're having the family reunion picnic to celebrate their 20 years of existence. So, and I'm pretty sure that's at, oh, it moved. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm glad you. So let's announce. When did it move to? Do we know?
I believe it's July 20th.
July 20th. Okay. So anyway, so just a shout out to them. And that's it. Thank you very much.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Trustee Hill?
Yep, I have a few community announcements. Our summer program, it's a free lunch and breakfast, Meet Up and Eat Up, is back in full swing. So I just wanted to announce, this has been going on since I've been here, and I've been around for 13 years. I'm not sure how long it's been going on, but it's fabulous. So the sites are Arcadia, Old Central, which is CEC, Greenwood, King Westwood, Lincoln, Linden Grove, Maple Street, Millwood Elementary, Northeastern, and Phoenix. And we talked about the communities and schools. It is rescheduled for the 20th. And let me think, we talked about Lincoln and how the adventure awaits, and we had to reschedule that because of the heat, and that is now July 16th. And because I'm a band nerd, I was band parent for years, both band camps have started up. And, you know, I think numbers got a little low with both bands in both high schools, but now they've come back. So marching band, you know, as you know, it's always on the football field in the fall during halftime, but they've already started practicing. So Loy Norix's camp begins Tuesday, July 30th, and then Central's camp begins Monday, July 29th. Yay, thank you.
Trustee McGlynn?
Just want to shout out to Trustee Jackson, who's here tonight, and we appreciate, especially after just stepping down, knowing that you're going to be around and being active in the community. And that reminds me that we do have an open position that we're looking for applications for the open position. You can get information on the website about that. I also want to say thank you for to Ms. Dorsey Smith for her years of dedication. Trustee Schaller Barber really said it very well, but just really, really appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy this next part of your life, and I'm sure that we will still see you around in some capacity, or if it's just support. So thank you so much.
Trustee Murphy.
I also wanted to just say real quick, congratulations to Braden Davis. For anyone who wasn't aware, he graduated from Loy Norris this year. He went to state competitions for musical performance. He won. He was first in the state, first male in the state. And so he had an 11-day trip to New York City where he got to work with actual Broadway personnel and then perform again. He finished in the top 40. I believe today is the last day to view that online at the Jimmy Awards. And he did not win, unfortunately, but I did want to make sure that we did recognize we have a lot of talent in lots of places. And the person who did win the Jimmy Awards got a $25,000 scholarship. Another person from Michigan, I believe she was from Midland, won the female competition for the nation. So it's kind of a big deal. And I'm really proud. So thank you.
Trustee Johnson. You don't have anything to say?
Huh?
You have something to say?
Yes.
Oh, well, come on.
Oh, first, this is the end of the school year, and so it's like this big old breath that's being taken by people who worked at the schools, but it's a big inhale for the parents. You know, like y'all breathing out, the parents are breathing in. So I'm just saying, you know, this another area of grace and mercy as we go to the grocery stores and all of the snacks are gone. And the parents are ready to call the teacher and apologize for everything they put them through during the school year. But on my side, this is when we get busy, trying to make sure that our babies stay alive to make it back to y'all in the fall. And so for me, I just ask that as a community of people who have youth who attend these schools, that we act as such in the streets. I know it's hard, parents, to have somebody else tell your child. But in a world where everybody can record your child, mistreat your child, or put them in a position that is not favorable, I will hope that you will begin to appreciate the ones who are trying to keep your children alive, the ones who are trying to keep them focused outside of school. We put a lot of responsibility on the schoolhouse that does not belong to it. It belongs to community and in a home. But the support and the resources are available, and the connections are available if you use them. And so I'm always here on the side of the community, the business owner, the homeowner, the people who really make sure that everything runs, right? It's the tax dollars. Because without the proper connections, we all running in silos and our babies are not served well. Over the summer, if you can support those summer programs, if you can make sure that the babies are attending those summer programs, ask them when they come home, what did they learn, and make sure that, keep us accountable. I have no problems. My team has no problems. We love it, actually, because it means that you're engaged, right? And support the efforts. I know it's hard. I've had questions about how do you sign up to help. Call, use the phone. We usually will give you direction. But know that all of us are here to support the babies. Also, the reason I was questioning the date for the summer literacy kickoff is because there's also a National Day of Summer Learning, but that is on July 18th at Barneston Park and supported by Kid Network, which houses 52 youth-serving nonprofits. So it's a lot of daytime activities that'll be taking place in July. Please support them. Please come out, look for them. All of us, marketing is expensive, as the district knows, and anybody in business knows. So if you see it, share it so that everybody can know about it, because that's what's missing. And some of us will see it, we won't share it, and then our friends know nothing about it. So if you see it, share it, and that allows us to reach more people. I think that's all I got for today.
So I don't have too many things to say before we go into closed session. The most important thing that I do want to say is thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your quiet professionalism. Thank you for your support, your silent support. Thank you for showing up in spaces that required just a little bit extra. And so thank you for being the quiet little bit extra. I hope that you enjoy your retirement. I hope that you love on those grandchildren in ways that only a grandmother can. Your daughter, she's not in here right now, but she's very lucky to be having you back. And so I hope that you guys enjoy each other tremendously. And I hope that you will continue to support us and consult with us and make sure that we stay on the right side of right, because you know how important that is to me. And at this time, I move that the board convene in closed session for the following reasons. Pursuant to Section 8A of the Opens Meeting Act, Michigan Code Law 15.268, Section A, the board can meet in closed session to consider the periodic personnel evaluation of a public officer, employee, or staff member if the named individual requests a closed hearing. Accordingly, the superintendent has requested a closed session. I move that the board convene in closed session to consider the superintendent's personnel evaluation.
I move to accept your motion.
I surely thank you. A roll call vote will be
I
had.
second.
You second? Okay. That was good, wasn't it? I know. Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Shola Barber. Trustee McGlynn.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
And I vote yes. We will come back on the floor so that we can announce the results. Hi, Miller.
Oh, well.
So you're paid, so she wants to record it and be on the record. Can we just ask the questions first? Just so she's, yep. I wrote them all down. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's just do that before we do like